Hey guys, this is Jason. I'm reviewing A Quiet Place Day 1, which is not directed by John Krasinski. This time around it is directed by Michael Sarnofski, and it focuses on a completely newer cast like Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn. It takes place in New York City, where we focus on Sam, played by Nyong'o, who sees all of these aliens crash down to Earth and she has to learn how to survive, and she's one of the first people to discover that they're attracted to loud noises. And she later runs into Eric, played by Quinn, and both of them have to work together to survive and figure out how to get off of New York and to get away from these aliens. Now, before I get into my thoughts on this film, I just want to say I hope you enjoy the opening intro, and I hope you enjoy the outro in the end of the video as well, because I figured I needed a small change for my channel just to show that my channel is slowly evolving over the years. The Quiet Place franchise has been a really good franchise so far. I love the first film. I think it is a very good thriller and horror film. I really like the second film as well. And both of them have proven that John Krasinski is both a talented actor and director when it comes to horror and thriller, but unfortunately he did not direct this film. Instead, it is directed by Michael Sarnofski, who is known for directing the Nicolas Cage film Pig, which is a really good movie and I strongly recommend watching it if you haven't yet. It's one of Cage's best performances in recent years. And just for him directing Pig, it did get me interested in seeing this film, and I'm happy to say that this is another great movie. This is another really good film in the franchise that is still suspenseful and a lot of fun. And it also kind of opens the door for other Quiet Place films to possibly happen in the future, like ones that don't always focus on the main family from the first two films. Like maybe have other characters in other places reacting to these creatures and figuring out new and different ways to get rid of them. Like it kind of opens the door for more of those films to happen. And it definitely works at being suspenseful when we see Sam trying to hide under a car and she's trying to get away from these aliens. Like it definitely works on being suspenseful when it just focuses on the characters reacting to these things. And just like the first two films, this one has some moments that have a lot of tension. Like there's this one scene where two characters are in a tunnel and water is just rising. And it still adds some moments where characters accidentally knock down a book or accidentally step on a stick, and it starts to make them feel terrified on where the aliens are, like if they're close or far away where they heard it. And it also makes us, the audience, feel paranoid about that when we're trying to like eat a snack while watching the film. And since this is a prequel, we do get to see the characters figure out how these aliens work, even though we get a helicopter with a person using a megaphone explaining how these aliens work. But we do get to see the characters figure them out themselves, like in one scene where there's a thunderstorm happening and you're seeing and hearing lightning, and you see them try to make loud noises without the aliens hearing it. Then there's both the cinematography, the production design, and the lighting, making New York look completely deserted with only a few people walking around. They definitely help elevate more of the tension and the feeling that you don't know where these aliens are, especially in the nighttime scenes. They definitely build a lot more of the tension. And they can be very creepy at times, like when a character is walking in a dark room and she's seeing a bunch of marionette puppets hanging around, or when she's in a dark room with a thunderstorm happening. Now let's talk about the main characters of the film, starting with Sam, played by Nyong'o, who is going through issues with her life because she unfortunately got diagnosed with terminal cancer. We learned that in the beginning of the film, and that made her pretty bitter around a lot of people around her, and she doesn't like loud noises. And she's supposed to go to this one important place that's around New York City, and when you learn why she wants to go to that certain place, you're like, really like that's the arc they're giving her character, it can make it feel questionable at first. But as the film progresses and you learn more about her, and you start to feel bad for her once you learn more about her backstory, and can make you a little teary-eyed for her. And then there's Eric, played by Joseph Quinn, who tags along with Sam throughout the film, and we learn that he's new to New York City and he's really there to go to law school. And when he runs into Lupita Nyong'o, he decides to tag along with her because he thinks that she knows her way around New York City. Now, just as a heads up, if you're a cat person like I am, there are going to be some moments in the film involving a cat that they use throughout the film that is very adorable, but they use this cat for some very big situations that will get you very concerned. So if you love cats that much, you are going to have some moments that are going to be very big and will concern you for this cat. Now, as for issues, this movie doesn't do a whole lot that's new for the franchise. It doesn't show like every new like creative thing that they can use to kill the aliens. Now, I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing because it doesn't ruin the entire film. It's just this one issue that I think that maybe that they could learn a little bit of something new for this film. So if you're going into this film expecting them to do something more creative just like the first two films, you're not going to get a whole lot of that. There's also a scene where a character sees two kids hiding, and this character takes these two kids somewhere safe, and then later in the film we see a group of people walking to a different destination, and this character decides to leave these two kids with this group, and then another alien comes in and kills a lot of people in the group, and we don't see these kids again after that. So it's really just like a random thing that they put in the film for one scene, and it's never mentioned again after that, which is strange. I would have liked if there was like another scene explaining where those two kids are. A Quiet Place Day 1 is another fun film in the franchise that does have some issues, like they don't always figure out how to kill the aliens with new and creative things. There are some moments in the story that are just there, but they're just thrown away and never mentioned again. But it still manages to be suspenseful with the characters reacting to the aliens. It has really good production design, lighting, and cinematography for the atmosphere. It has really good acting from the two main leads, and it has characters that are very sympathetic and can make you teary-eyed. If you are a fan of the first two Quiet Place films, I strongly recommend watching this film if you haven't yet. It's definitely a fun time. It's not quite as good as those two films, but I do strongly recommend it. I'm gonna give A Quiet Place Day 1 an A-. So guys, if you have seen A Quiet Place Day 1, what did you think about it? Did you think it's as good as the first two films, or do you think that this is the first bad Quiet Place film? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you like this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing, because it helps my channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you know what other videos I'm posting. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.